Well, greetings and salutations, test takers. This is Series 7 Guru coming to you from my studio in fabulous Las Vegas with Nico. Nico has decided to give you a free ride on a 125 question practice test that we're going to do together on a shared screen. What we would suggest you do is hit pause, see what you think your answer is, hit play, and I'll be wanting Nico to talk out loud. We'll talk about the test issues as we go along. This practice final is provided with permission from Mometrics. They like me to review the materials, and so for doing that, they allow me to put things on shared screen and share them. Just so you know, this is the first time Nico and I have seen this exam, so I will comment as whether it's a good value or not. They're pretty cheap. The study guide book is like $30, so for $30, we shouldn't have very high expectations. We get some practice finals, get some practice questions, get a different view of it. I think it's a good value last time I reviewed it. All right, so Nico, here we go. An investor purchased one PPG August 73 call at 5. Which are the following are true? What say you?
I'm gonna go with 1, 3, and 4.
1, 3, and 4. So one says the break even is 78. You are correct. Strike price plus premium. You said 3. The maximum loss is what you paid. Again, you are correct. You should know, common thread, that anytime you buy an option position, whether it's a call, a put, a straddle, if you buy a spread, that would be a debit spread. Worst case is you lose your money. So very easy to qualify the customer here. I say, Nico's this $500 you can afford to lose. For everybody, that's going to be a different number. You said, by the way, you can't say 2 if you said 1, so 2 was that anyways.
Exactly.
And maximum gain is unlimited indeed. You are correct. Which of the following is an example of a type of corporate money market instrument? Which of the following is a type? I'm noticing here, Nico, that it looks like on their online version of this, it looks like maybe they didn't put the ABCD there. So,
Yeah.
or maybe that's my computer. We'll assume that's an
Yeah, exactly.
ABCD.
So my answer here is C.
Yeah, well, bankers' acceptances, I think, is the right answer. Because Fed funds aren't a type of corporate money market instrument.
Yeah.
It depends on what perspective they're asking this from. If they're asking if I'm a corporate person, I'm buying money market securities, well, then it would be all of them. But bankers' acceptances are from banks used to facilitate foreign trade. I think we probably would have said the only thing that jams me up is this corporate.
Yeah, exactly. Same
I
here.
think that's going to be all of the above, just based on the phraseology. Question I don't really like, but we'll see how you do on that one. An investor initiates the following option transaction. He or she pays $2 for a PPG May 55 call and translate the specific details of the option contract. All right, so I like this. They're kind of asking you to put that into plain English.
Yeah. So that is you long a call. So that's A.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. This is why I like doing this, Nico. So thanks for taking it an adventurous spirit, so to speak, and doing something we haven't seen. I kind of like that question. I've never seen it phrased that kind of way,
Yeah.
but I like it. If somebody was struggling on options, I think that would be a good question about what I always call contract specifications,
Mhm.
which is testable. So excellent. Blank has the power to register, regulate, and oversee brokerage firms, transfer agents, and clearing agencies, as well as SROs.
So FINRA is an SRO, so
That's exactly right.
that's not an answer. So I'm going to go with the SEC.
Yeah, they're God. You're right, right? The SEC is, has primary jurisdiction, interpretation, and enforcement of the domestic securities laws of the United States of America.
Mhm.
P.S. I joke, NASDQ is the former name of FINRA, but FINRA and the MSRB are SROs, as you mentioned, Nico, and the SEC sometimes will say to them, hey, I brought you into this world and I can take you out of this world. Right? The SEC is a much bigger deal. Excellent. What does the Options Clearing Corporation do? What does the Options Clearing Corporation do?
So the OCC, like usually we don't say guarantees. Um, anything, but the OCC does guarantee.
That's right. You're
Yeah.
correct.
So three is right. So
Three is correct.
that takes out B and D. Um, let's see. Two, choose each option contract. Facilitates standardized options to settle trade date. Four. Okay, so I'm gonna go with 1, 3, and 4.
That was excellent. That was a tough one, Nico.
Yeah.
That was a good performance there, right? They published the disclosure document that we have to give to the customer at a prior to account approval, right? They are the issuer and guarantor. The only reason two isn't right is because it says on the trade date, and that's not true. So
A
excellent,
broker dealer would.
right on.
Yeah.
Calculate the current yield of a mutual fund with a public offering price of 17 and an annual dividend of 3.
So it's just the annual dividend divided by the current market price.
Yeah, you got your calculator with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just do it together. I got mine here. 3 divided by 17. 3 divided by 17. I get 17.64. Close enough, right?
Yeah. Wait, let's
So
make,
what it pays us, $3.
yeah.
By what it costs us, 17.
Yeah, exactly. I got that too.
I did it twice. I'm terrible at arithmetic, but I did it again, Nico, just because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine just rounded up to
Oh,
18.
yeah, that's
So
right.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
won't make a distinction on your exam. So
Right. Okay,
rounding it
cool,
up
cool.
or down based on whether it's a 4 or a 6 is, what I usually tell people is just to pick whatever approximates their LED display.
Hmm.
That'll be close enough for test
Yeah.
purposes. What are securities? What are securities that have the brokerage firm as the registered nominal owner and the customer is the beneficial owner considered? Kind of a tough one. I like this one.
What are securities that have the brokerage firm as the um and the customer as that is so transfer and ship goes to the customer itself.
Mhm. Good. I
So
like your reasoning as well. So continue to talk out loud because
held and street name means your your account's just by like a number.
well,
Um,
street name, remember, is where I say, listen, Nico, if you have your securities in street name, the name of the broker dealer, it would be much easier for us to do things backstage for you, like
mhm,
transfer. If you have a margin account with us, Nico, you have no choice. Your securities will be held in street name of the broker dealer. So if you don't fulfill your responsibilities, we can sell you out.
mhm. I think it's A here, but um based on your yeah, I was gonna say based on what you said, um
Yeah, this is a funky way
it's
to
up.
say it, but it's
Yeah.
street name. It is street name, right? So I think it's a funky way to say it. As I said, I kind of like what they're getting at. The street name thing is testable. Do I think you will see it phrased this way? No. Nominal owner means I'm not really, as the broker dealer, the owner of the securities. But
Mhm.
from the issuer standpoint, they're going to be sending me all that proxy material and I'm going to forward it on to the customer, right?
Yeah.
So street name. Well, I think we're going to mark you wrong just because we're trying
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get
exactly. Yeah,
this.
exactly.
By the way, that's still your performance is still great, so no worries. Which of the following are true of an option seller? Which of the following are true of an option seller?
So one is not true
Right? Not true. That is so not true.
and enters
I
into an
was joking. I
option.
had a client one time, Nico, he got aside. He goes, I choose not to be exercising. I said, oh man,
Yeah,
you, my friend, are very confused. And as your
yeah.
broker, some of that's on me.
Review, yeah,
One is
review
definitely
options
not true.
again. Um, three is true.
That's true. 3 is true indeed.
Has the intent to profit as the result. Four is true.
There you go. That's true too.
Enters into an option contract with the goal. So just three and four. So
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Remember, when you write an option, you want people to leave you alone. You want to go neener, 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 and keep the money, right? So you're absolutely right. So two is not true. Exercise is bad. If you're short and I call you and say you got an exercise nose, that's not bueno.
yeah.
Um, I think a funky way to ask this, but I like it. And then remember, it's a common theme in options. If you collect money, premium income, That's your max gain, right? Whether it's a short call, short put, you sell a spread. The credit spread is you're selling the spread. In a short straddle, short combination, best case buyers, and you keep the money. When using testimonials, which of the following points does not need to be clearly stated in the body copy of the material? I think this is more of a 24 than a 7 thing, but oh well.
Um, I know it's the I think it's the time frame. Which of the following points does not need to be? So 4 needs to be clearly stated.
That's right on your correction. It's not D. You're absolutely right. I love
D,
it. Process of elimination, right?
yeah. And then A needs to be clearly stated.
There you go. So you got a 50-50, my friend.
Right.
Excellent.
If the testimonial concerns a technical aspect of investing. I'm gonna go with C.
It is actually B.
Oh, I knew-
But that's okay. I don't think you're going to see this one at all. So this is the first question I think where, I don't know why they thought this was something to even ask you about, but oh no, you're right. My bad. It is B. The fact that did you say B or did you say C?
I said C.
Oh, it's B. So
Okay.
nominal sum means that it's not a lot of money. It's like I gave you a case, bottle of wine or some kind of thing. That's what I think the phraseology is tough.
Yeah.
So I think that's a miss. We'll see if it's a miss according to our friends at Mometrics. When obtaining an account for a customer, what information should a registered rep obtain from the customer?
So 2 is true.
2 is true.
3 is true.
3 is true. You're correct.
So the thing about 1 is whether they are an employee of a broker dealer, another broker dealer.
Or a bank. But be careful too, because we got to just be careful on language. Should.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't say must.
So I'm gonna go with C.
Yeah, it's going to be basically, I think they're going to want all of those just on that, but we'll see what they say, right? A bank reference. I'm with you. Mainly what I need is your physical address, your tax ID number. An investor believes shares of PPG will rise from the current price of 65. Down here, there's us. Which of the following option contracts should he purchase or she purchase in order to maximize their profits in stock PPG, given his or her belief in an independent price increase?
So it can't be B or D.
Right on. You're going to do a call.
And I'm gonna do a C. C is my answer.
Yeah, the lower strike. Excellent. Excellent. Right, because you're going to make more money on the 66 and the 72, regardless of what the market is. What is the premium amount on an August 100,000 T-bond 120 call on a 5% treasury being quoted at 2.09?
Premium amount on an August.
Yeah, so
So
yeah, this is kind of a fun one.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with A.
Yeah, I think if we took the 930 seconds, right? 930 seconds. So the 2 is 2000. And then we're going to take our calculator. We're going to take 9 divided by 32. And we take 9 divided by 32. We get 0.28125.
Yeah, so B.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think you'll see that at all on the test. I think it is testable, Nico,
To do
to
30 seconds.
yeah, no, it's 30 seconds. That's the big takeaway. And I don't think you'll see any. They don't have treasury bond calls anymore on the Series 7, so it looks like this might be a little bit of a dated exam. What we have now that is very testable instead are what called yield-based options. And those yield-based options test question, that is testable, have a direct relationship with interest rates. So what I mean by that is if you thought where interest rates were going up, you'd buy a yield-based call. If you thought interest rates were going down, you'd buy a yield-based put. And so I wouldn't worry at all about this one. What type of U.S. government security has terms ranging from 1 to 10 years, pays semi-annual interest, and is obtained through a treasury auction held semi-monthly?
T-notes.
Right on. Good job. Mailing instruction rules as they pertain to customer accounts include which of the following? Which of the following?
So it's 3 months if the
That's
term.
right. So one is out. You're absolutely right. So one is not true.
Two is true. Well, no.
Yeah, be careful again on
Yeah,
language.
no.
May be sent only to the customer. No, if the customer gives me permission to send it to his accountant or his
Yeah.
investment advisor, so two is not true.
I'm gonna go with three only.
That you got it. You got it. So
Yeah.
again, just a giant reading test. And as I said on this one, we got to read even more closely because this isn't a Kaplan practice final. We're not kind of used to how their
Oh yeah,
language.
I know. I
So,
know,
which of the following describes the rights shareholders possesses?
yeah. They retain interest in residual assets. That's pretty much. One is true.
One is certainly true. Remember, that's your residual value, that theoretical liquidation value, which is the
Yeah.
book value.
So that leaves us with B and C. They can access a corporate. Two is true.
Uh, Two is not true, right? Because you don't get to go into Apple and say, let me see the AI lab,
Well, yeah, true.
right?
True.
So that's what that means. Otherwise, it would be confidential. You are going to get financial statements, right? Your balance sheet, your income statement, that kind of thing. So
So,
two is not true. You just can't go traipse in and say, hey, let me see your, latest whatever.
okay, yeah. So B.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange one. PPG issues 6.5% bonds worth a total of $850,000. The bonds are set to come due with the entire 850,000 on August 15th, 2023. What type of bond maturity is represented with this issuance?
Term.
Yeah, that's very much a test question, right? Balloon would be, payments
Yeah.
that come due at different times, and serial would be that same thing, a serial with a balloon at the end. So excellent. Woo! A representative makes two separate and unrelated statements to a prospective customer. First, in an effort to impress the customer with his distinguished educational background, he says he graduated from a certain Ivy League institution while knowing that he really only attended the college a couple of semesters. Second, he announces that a well-known biotech securities analyst is employed at his firm as of the prior day. The customer proceeds to sign on with this representative creates account. The next day, the representative discovers the biotech analyst decided to leave the firm effective immediately as of early that morning. Which of these two statements would be considered a misrepresentations and grounds for discipline given the customer signed on with the representative based on the truth of both?
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. First, I'm thinking, well, both sound like a problem, but I don't get a choice that says both, right? I got a
Yeah.
choice that says neither. And so that means we got to decide which is worse, that you lied to me about your educational background, or
Uh
unbeknownst to you, a biotech guy we thought was coming to work for the firm didn't.
I'm gonna go with C.
The statement regarding the biotech, you missed this, right? The
No
bigger
way.
deal is that you lied about your educational background,
Oh, no way.
right? The biotech, and we read this again, right? The biotech guy, I could have thought that to be truthful that we were hiring the guy. It sounds like it was truthful, and then they fired him. So, you're not going to be in trouble, Nico, for just telling, hey, we hired this analyst. Oh, my bad. We thought we had the deal signed and we lost him. That or I lie to you that I went to Harvard when I didn't, so
Yeah,
that was,
true.
this is your first bad miss, by the way. What I mean by your first bad miss is, we should know that lying about your own
Yeah,
background
well,
is,
yeah, true, but yeah.
but by the way, I think it's kind of a stupid ass question,
Yeah, I was like, yeah, like,
because, I think they're both.
yeah.
An investor sells short 100 shares of PTR at 42.50, and they also sell an August 38 put for 2. What is the investor's total maximum gain on this position?
Okay, so so
So is the 42.50 dollars out or dollars in?
yeah, so the total maximum game is 650.
Excellent. Excellent. That was a tough one.
Yeah,
So right on, right? 44.50 is your break even.
yeah.
And then once it goes below 38, somebody's going to stick it to you at 38. You're going to use that to cover your short position. Excellent. Excellent. That was a tough one. By the way, we should also know that that's kind of stupid because you have unlimited loss potential.
Mhm.
So that's not. What does the NASDAQ opening cross do? What does the NASDAQ opening cross do? Kind of a stupid question.
I'm gonna go with 3 and 4.
Yeah, it's actually the answer here, and I don't know why they choose to answer this to you. I'm going to give it to you because it's not on the test. But that's how we do it. It's 1 and 3 actually, right? So it's the source, what's known as the national offering, the best, what we call the inside market, right?
Yeah,
So it's kind of a stupid question.
these questions are
Yeah, I told you. Well, we kind of
yeah,
talked about whether we wanted to do this one or not.
yeah,
And some of them are good, and we're just, getting to see.
exactly, yeah,
Okay,
exactly,
so yeah, I wouldn't get too like that one. We've had a couple where I'm like, yeah, right, okay, whatever.
yeah.
Um, an investor has purchased a PPG August 33 call with a premium of 3. PPG is currently trading at 37.50. Which of the following describes this investor's call position?
In the money.
Right on, right on. Call up. Blank trading authority is when a person other than the account holder may invest without consulting the account holder about the price, amount, or type of security that are placed for the account.
Discretionary.
Yeah, yeah, we got some of these questions I kind of like. There's some that are stupid, but some are pretty good.
Yeah,
Which of the line is not an example of a fiduciary?
I'm gonna go with D.
You're right on. Right
Yeah.
on. Good job. Which of the following would be the dollar price quote for a bond quoted at 93 and a half? 93 and a half.
Type of type of I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, let's see. Um, I'm gonna go with A here.
You're correct, right? A half a
Oh,
point is
okay,
$5.
okay, cool,
Right
cool.
on, percentage of par.
Yeah.
It's trading at a discount. So what's happened to interest rates since the bond was issued?
Mhm. Discount, so it's gone up.
Yeah,
Or
that's right.
yeah.
Right on. Good job. What is the settlement date for a trade? Kind of an interesting question.
Um, D.
Yeah, 2 business days, right? We assume it's two because everything is T+2 except options and governance. So excellent. Which of the following drilling costs are 100% deductible for the year in which they incur? Now, don't get me going on my rant, but
Oh, the DDP.
all vendors spend way too much on partnerships in terms of what you're going to actually get on the exam. So I wouldn't worry about, these obtuse DBP questions. That being said, I do get to deduct, the costs that aren't associated with actually drilling the hole. These are called intangible drilling costs.
Yeah. Um, my answer here is B.
Yeah, good job. Good job.
Okay,
All
cool,
those things are
cool, cool.
deductible. All those things are deductible. An investor looking to profit from movements in the values of a foreign currency would buy calls or sell put options given which of the following circumstances?
You're profiting from movements and the values for buy calls. Um,
I kind of like this one. I think it's kind of
yeah,
funky.
so should looking to profit from movements and values of foreign currency. Um, B.
D is in dog.
No, B, B.
Okay, I think the way to attack this, you got it wrong. C is in Charlie. Is that what you said?
No, B.
B. So I think what you wanted to do here is say, okay, if I buy calls or sell puts, I'm bullish on that country,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I'm buying calls. I think the currency is going up. I sell puts. I think the currency is going up. Puts expire. So I'm bullish on the country. So indication the country stock market is in decline. That's bearish. Indication the country is headed for an economic downturn. Bearish. Indication the government's experiencing increasing levels of
So
instability.
D.
Bearish.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's actually D.
yeah,
I kind of like it, kind of the masochist in me who, likes to torment test takers. I don't think it'll see that way. The one you definitely need to know is epic.
yeah,
That idea about exporters buy puts, importers buy call.
yeah,
Here it would be the opposite, right? So the opposite would be one, A, B, and C would be if we were bearish, we would buy puts and sell calls, even though
yeah, exactly.
even though
Yeah,
selling the options is not smart because
I should have just looked at the options, which way they were
yeah,
going.
the matrix, yeah. An account in which customers with large portfolios pay a brokerage firm a flat annual fee that covers the cost of a money manager services and the cost of commissions is,
D.
yeah, that's very important, right? And that's, for all those of you who are watching this and taking your 7, for most of you, my guess is you're going on to take a 66. And the point of the 66 is to allow you to sell wrap accounts to customers. We can get paid for both our brokerage services and our money management services. A bond yield is directly influenced by all the following except. A bond's yield is directly influenced by all of the following.
So it's
Except.
influenced by D.
What's that?
It's influenced by D. I'm doing process of elimination.
Yeah, no, okay, okay.
So
So
it's
you're,
influenced by D, and it's influenced by
oh yeah, I like it. Okay, I see what you're doing. So yeah, you're correct. That's correct. We're looking for accept, so you're right. So that's out.
C's out. I mean C's out.
Yeah.
Um, go with A.
Yeah, I think that yeah, this one's kind of weird one. I don't know what they're gonna say on this one. I probably would have said all directly, the bonds yield directly. Supply and demand. I don't know about that. It depends whether they're talking about current yield or not. I mean, kind of a poor question. Let's see what they say on this one. What is an order that enables the broker to have discretion regarding the timing of its execution and price is called. That is very much a test question.
B.
Yeah. So kind of weird. They get some that are kind of really spot on and some that are kind of,
Oh, I know. Yeah.
out there a little bit, right? All the following contribute to the determination of an option premium except.
B.
Yeah, well, interest rates would affect what people are willing to speculate on. I think we're probably going to miss that one. The options class and series, I think, is what they're going to be looking for. This is another odd one, right? Time value versus, intrinsic value. 31, what does convertible security arbitrage involve? I kind of like this one.
Um, I'm gonna go with D.
It's actually A. So if we do parity on the convertible and we find out that the bond is trading below
Yeah,
par,
you have an arbitrage situation to sell it.
yeah, so you would short the stock and then, make delivery by converting the stock. So the answer here is A. We simultaneously buying and selling both a stock and a security that can be converted in the stock. So what we're going to do is we're going to go long the convertible and short the stock. Right? That's arbitrage, profiting from price discrepancies. The price discrepancy here we're profiting from is the difference in parity. I was just doing a tutoring session yesterday, and the parity of the bond was 1250 and the price was 1100. And that's an arbitrage opportunity because it's worth 25 shares of a $50 stock. It's
Mhm.
trading below that. And so that would be arbitrage. B is called merger arbitrage. Arbitrage. Arbitrage, again, I think the key point is arbitrage is profiting from price discrepancies. It's not illegal. They try and bait you on exams to say arbitrage is not legal. It is.
Mhm.
Right? It brings efficiency to the markets. And then you're going to need a margin account, right? Because if we're shorting the security, that has to be done in a margin account. So to engage in arbitrage, you're going to need a margin account. And I do think that's kind of testable because that's another reason people do short sales. The obvious reason people do short sales is to profit from a declining stock price. A less obvious reason they do short sales is to engage in arbitrage. So that one is actually A. I'm going to give that one to you, Nico, because I don't think you're going to miss that if you see it again.
Yeah, I think that one's crazy.
Which of the following duties does a transfer agent not perform?
Um, C.
Yeah, who does seed? You're correct. Who does seed? Who does that?
The bond counsel.
Excellent, excellent, right? The bond counsel. That's a legal opinion, right?
Yeah.
And he's going to give you either a qualified legal opinion or unqualified. What's better?
Um, Unqualified.
Excellent, excellent. So I don't think this. I'm glad you got it right. I think this question is not so much about A, B, and D, is knowing that C is not anything to do with the transfer agent.
Yeah.
That's a different person, right? An investor puts together the following position. They sell one PPG August 79 call for 2 and sells one PPG August 79 put for 4. Which of the following describes this position?
B.
Right on. It's a long straddle. What's the break
No, no,
even?
no, no, no. B. Short straddle.
Oh, short straddle. There you go. Yeah, short straddle. You're correct. What is the break evens in this short straddle?
It'd be 79 plus 6, 79 minus 6.
You're absolutely right. And what would be the ideal closing price at expiration?
Within like it'd be 79. Like it'd be within the
That's right, because both
yeah,
contracts
yeah,
expire, neener.
yeah.
What's the maximum loss?
Um, Unlimited.
Excellent. Excellent, my friend. You were nailing options. 4 test questions. You got them all. Can you identify a straddle? Can you calculate the break evens? Can you determine where it's profitable? When to use it? Excellent. What type of bond issue has no physical certificate issued to its holder, leaving the only evidence of ownership in the trade confirmation from the purchase transaction?
I'm gonna go with C because that's the only thing I've seen on like the
Well,
only.
bearer bonds, you do have a physical certificate that presumes your ownership.
Oh, okay. So
It's a book entry, and they, the bastards here, they didn't give us the chat book entry, so we had to come up with none of the above.
no, yeah,
Book entry, book entry is typical of treasury securities. So, you're confused if you buy a treasury bond from me, you say, Dean, transfer and ship. I say, Nico, there's nothing to transfer and ship.
yeah.
The
Because
US
then,
Treasury
yeah,
has you on the books and will send you the appropriate checks at the appropriate time frame. So book entry is typical of, and that was the answer. That's why it was none of the above. But book entry is typical of Treasury securities and state GOs. A lot of states say, hey, we're not sending you certificates. So, we're going to send you the checks at the appropriate time. I had a customer, I don't know why the guy called me and was complaining. He was complaining that he didn't receive his interest on the Treasury security. And when I did some homework, I found out that we had him owning it and the US Treasury had it owning it. And so he was actually getting double paid and he was complaining about the stopping of the double payment he was
no
receiving.
way.
And then, he was all bent when I said, well, listen, you've been overpaid and now,
Yeah,
you're not going to get any more because it's a 20-year bond. You've been double paid for 10 due
yeah,
to, accounting error. Oh my God. He was like, I felt like saying, well, why'd you even complain if you were,
exactly. I
you
wouldn't say
know,
anything.
keep your mouth shut. What are some consequences of a violation of Reg T? What are some consequences of a violation of Reg T?
So one is true.
Well, be careful. I think you might have a little bit of a mind meld there. When I freeze your account for 90 days, you can't do any
Oh yeah,
trades.
you can do closing trades. You do closing.
Well, remember this, what you get frozen on is not your ability to trade, your credit privileges,
Mhm.
right?
Okay, so
One is not true.
yeah, so it can't be E or D.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I kind of like it, but it's a real tough margin question.
Um, so if it can't be E or D, I think it's C.
Well, you should know four because that's what happens when we buy and sell you out and you haven't paid, right? So you should know that four is definitely true of somebody who gets in trouble for taking a free ride, buying and selling. Now, I can't come after you as a margin clerk until the fifth business day because customers get 2 additional days. So remember, customers, it's T+2 to the customer. At that point, I say, Nico, I'm selling you out. Now, in the real world, I would get you a couple extensions of mailgram, but the answer here is 3 and 4. It's 3 and 4 too. The customer is fully responsible for any loss incurred due to the firm selling off securities from the unpaid order, but no other securities may be sold to cover the loss. That's not true. I mean, if you owe us money, we can sell you out. That's part of the margin agreement. So
Yeah.
this one was a tough one. This one was a tough one, but it's actually 3 and 4. I don't worry. I wouldn't worry about three. The only one I would really worry about it on the test is number 4. That if you do a free ride, buy and sell, 90 days, no credit privileges. A custodian managing a Uniform Gift to Minors Act will be bound by all the following guidelines regarding contributions, except.
So the Uniform Gift to Minors Act is more flexible than the Uniform Transfer to Minors.
That's right. But on both, gifts are
Yeah,
irrevocable.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Um, so hmm. So it has to be either um B or D.
Yeah, it is B. It is B. It's, this, they're not going to test you on the tax-free limit because it moves all the time at 16.5. But you are going to get tested on Uniform Transfer to Minors Act or Uniform Gift to Minors Act. So it's more likely Uniform Transfer to Minors Act Let me give you the test questions you're going to encounter on your test. Whose tax ID number goes on the account, the miners or the custodian?
Miners.
Right on. Can you use margin in custodial accounts?
No.
Can you have multiple custodians or multiple miners?
No.
Right on one, right? So that's very testable. I don't know of any draw that you're not going to get one miner, one custodian per account, miner's tax ID, no margin. Registered reps are required to regularly monitor and keep current all the following customer information except.
Um, A.
Yeah, kind of stupid. All vendors ask that. I don't know why. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm missing
Yeah.
some debrief and people have seen this. I don't know why every vendor wants to say we're not necessarily need to know about educational background. Which of the following is a calendar spread? Which of the following is a calendar spread?
So, so it has to be either A or C,
You are correct. You are correct.
and it would be A.
Excellent. Good job. That was a tough one. Excellent. Which is the highest level of NASDAQ available only to approved market makers? I like this one.
So level 1 is the inside.
Right on. The inside market, the highest bid, lowest
Yep.
ask. You're
Yep.
correct. That's level
And
one.
then level 2 is like firm. I'm gonna go with 3.
Level three, you're correct, right? Level three is what market makers need to input information. Level two shows you the market makers. Level three lets you play. So it's synonymous to say that you are a market maker when you have a level three NASDAQ data feed because, that's what market makers have. What are some characteristics of preferred stock?
B.
Yeah, right. You get fixed income, a fixed dividend. Par is not 1,000, par is 100, right?
Hmm.
Do the fixed income nature of these shares changes? No, there's no change. What you're being paid is fixed. There is no maturity date. They do not mature. By utilizing information from both the company's balance sheet and or income statement, which of the following can be determined? Which of the following can be determined?
Your P ratio. So 1 and 2. So 2. So 1, 2, and 4.
This is a tricky one. When we're looking at a balance sheet or income statement, what we don't have is the current market price of the stock, right? You don't find that on the financial statements, the current market price of the stock. To do number one, you would need the current market price of
Okay.
the
Yeah.
stock.
So it'd be C.
Yeah, right on. So that was a tough one. I don't think balance sheets are going to be a big deal. I mean, the channel now, Nico is going into its fourth year, and I probably have three balance sheet lectures up there now. But I went like a year and a half, 2 years without any kind of anything on balance sheets, and people
Yeah.
would say, send me messages like, "You don't have nothing on balance sheets." Like, because it's not material. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying to knock out the things or the biggest things first, before we do that. So it looks like we're in a little fundamental analysis section here. Which of the following are utilized by a fundamental analyst to value stocks?
Okay. So I'm gonna go with A. Well, so A is true.
That's right. So you're going to use the company's income statement. Indeed. Are you going to be interested in current ratio and quick ratio?
Yes.
Are you going to be interested in like price to book or book value or
Yes.
so that would be
All the above.
yeah. What you don't use is like charts,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Like
So I would
model.
expect like one question about, something like this where they're asking you to distinguish between fundamental and technical analysis. All the following are true regarding the listing and delisting requirements of the New York Stock Exchange, except that. This is kind of a stupid one too.
Oh yeah, this one's insane actually.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give it to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see that at all. But the New York Stock Exchange is kind of like the Hotel California.
Mhm.
You can check anytime you want, but getting out is a little more tougher. And you would not need the singular approval to delist. You actually need, to take a shareholder vote. So stupid. I don't think you're going to see that at all. All the following are characterized as secured bonds, except I like this one.
Um, mortgage bonds are secured. Equipment bonds are secured by, you know,
Mhm.
like a equipment for transportation. And then I'm gonna go with income bonds are not
You're
secured.
correct. Remember, income bonds only pay interest when and if earned.
Yeah.
They trade flat, no calculation of accrued interest are used in bankruptcies and restructurings. They're not a retail product. Excellent. An investor places an order to buy 250 PPG 6215 at 6215. Now, it's my job to know that's a limit order. It's not the customer's job. So when the customer gives me a price, that is a limit order. That's a buy limit. GTC means good till cancel. Buy limits are placed below the market. And now the customer says, Dean, I know that usually you would reduce a buy limit below the market for dividends, cash dividends, but in my case, do not reduce.
Yeah.
So that's what that means in plain English.
Yeah.
The stock closes the prior day at 63.10. Further, the stock goes ex-dividend 15 cents, and accordingly will open with the market the next day at 62.95. Given these developments, which of the following depicts the investor's buy order will be as in the market opening the next day? Kind of
So,
a funky
so,
question, but I kind of like it a little bit.
so because of it being a DNR, it would be the same.
Right on. That's
Yeah.
right on.
Yeah.
Excellent. If it wasn't DNR, then we would have reduced it. Right.
Yeah.
So excellent. I think, kind of out there a little bit, but legit. I think it's a good
Oh
question.
yeah, yeah. This test put me through like a
Yeah. Yeah.
like
So,
it's like a mental reset.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
An investor communicates to his or her representative that his or her primary investment objective is to generate additional or generate just income, excuse me.
Yeah.
Which of the following would be a type of investment that the representative should recommend?
Generate income.
Yeah, so one of these is
You
going
go
to do
into
do income, and the rest of them kind of suck.
you go into bonds.
You're right. Yeah, government bonds,
So I'm
right?
gonna go, yeah.
I kind of like their investment questions. I think are pretty decent. About the income bond and about the DNR. Some of that stuff, I think they're
Yeah.
pretty good.
So 1 second. The distinction. So wouldn't you get more income in a CMO though?
Depends what tranche you buy, right? And that would be there's no predictability there in terms of what you're going to get in income. It's a cascading cash flow.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the government bonds are safer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you had the right answer there. All the following are true of technical analysis, except
Consider the company's fundament. Nope. Wouldn't that be a fundamentalist?
right on, right
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And the charting patterns you should be familiar with would be support and resistance,
Yeah.
right? You should be familiar with head and shoulders, a signal of a reversal.
Yeah, it's like head and shoulders, bottom bullish, head and
Yeah, right
shoulders,
on.
top bearish.
There. So
Yeah.
excellent, excellent. So as I said, every once in a while you get a spastic like New York Stock Exchange delisting
Yeah.
question, but for some of these questions, they're pretty good in terms of the investment component. All the following are characteristics of a stock short sale, except that
So A is true.
A is most definitely true.
It involves first the sale of the stock. Then second, the purchase of a stock intended to fulfill the initial. B would be true, yes.
That's right. You go short and then you buy it back, right? You do an opening
Um,
sale and then a closing purchase.
so D, all the above.
Excellent, excellent, Nico, excellent. And some of these are the tough ones, and you're getting them correct. Just because you're doing so well as last time we did some shared practice questions, you were doing so well. It gives me a kind of the incentive to kind of go, okay, let's see what else he knows.
Oh yeah, this one is actually
Right.
crazy. This,
So,
this test
so
is actually crazy.
how would we change the short stock position from unlimited risk to limited risk?
A long put
Long call,
or
long
short
call.
stock, long call, and
There you
then
go.
long
That's right.
call.
I'm
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I'm asking you to pull it out of the stratosphere. On the test, it would
yeah,
be
yeah,
there.
exactly.
Worry
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
What if I'm not approved for options? Is there an order I can place that could stop a loss in the short sale?
Um, um, like a sell stop, a buy stop,
Yep.
or
So which
protect your
which
profit
one?
on a short position would be a buy stop order.
Excellent, 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 excellent. An investor who has long position. Oh, here we go. Stock DZE would like to create a hedge of protection against downside price risk. Which of the following would provide the hedge he or she is seeking?
So, uh, if you're long something, the hedge would be to sell.
Yeah, you want
So,
to be able to sell the stock. So yeah, so if you're long the stock, the
so
hedge
I'm gonna go with
to sell.
two,
Right on two is definitely true.
and then a cover to call.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So
Actually,
two, yeah.
covered
So
calls, you get some price decline protection. You get some price decline protection, right? Because you're bringing in that premium income.
mhm,
So this would be, I wouldn't have been upset as your tutor if you'd put two and said that that's the more effective hedge, but they're both considered hedges. For your own edification in the business, we call the long put an effective hedge,
mhm,
and we call the short call a partial hedge. Partial meaning the hedge is the amount of the premium you bring in.
yeah.
Which of the following contribute to the determination of a corporate's bonds pricing in the secondary market? In the secondary market,
So three is true.
three is true.
Call features. Okay, so I don't see three and four, so I'm just going with three only.
Well, the three only, it's also the issuer. Is a Microsoft bond better than a
Wait,
Bonds by
wait.
Airlines bond?
So
It's actually all of those, right? The
yeah,
call
I was gonna say,
features,
yeah, yeah,
it's all of them, right? I'd say, you say, well, Dean, it looks like the coupon is higher and the price is a little higher. I said, well, but it can be called the issuer interest rates, whether it's term maturity. So it's basically all of those.
yeah.
I do it. So, boom. The SEC was created under,
A.
oh
Oh
man,
no, no, no. So the
that's
paper
right, man. Don't
A
give up a
P,
question like this.
yeah,
33
yeah,
is the prospectus
yeah,
paper.
yeah, exactly. And then
34
34
is the
people.
people
Yeah, yeah,
places.
yeah.
So, boy, we don't want to give up that kind of
Oh
one.
yeah, that was just a layup.
And now, yeah, yeah, that's exactly. I know, Janico, I'm a NBA fan, and I got a league pass. I said I am just, as an old guy, just watching all these phenomenally talented young men in the NBA coming up, and I had to watch the Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder play last night, and
Oh yeah, that was a good matchup.
oh my God, just phenomenally talented. But it came right down to the end, and the guy who's like a 90% free throw shooter, and he went 1 for 2 twice. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my God, it just
yeah,
hurts, right? When you miss what you shouldn't miss. I didn't watch the after the game thing, but I'm sure the guy's a
yeah.
little bit, he's a little probably upset with himself because he could have put it away, but
Oh wow.
which of the following is not required to be on an issue bond certificate? So, assuming there is a physical certificate, well, what would not be on that? So, you're looking at a bond certificate. What would you think would not be on that?
C.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I think it's not so much at C that to know A would be and B would be and D would be. So, good answer, right? Or excuse me, it's not the paying agent, it's the state of issuance, right? What do you care where it was issued and where it was issued, right?
Not required.
not the issuer. All the following is not, which of the following is not required? It's not saying the issuer here, it's saying the state where it was issued, right? The
Okay,
paying
okay.
agent, the
Yeah,
bank, you got to take your coupons. In the old days, you literally have to clip your coupons and go to the bank. And so it would have to tell you where you take the coupon to get paid, right? So paying agent would certainly be there.
yeah.
And then the dates for interest payments, J&J, F&A, whatever the case may be.
The wording on these are crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, we're still doing great though. I mean, we're
Yeah.
anyways. We said they've got some good ones and they got some not so good ones.
Yeah.
I think last time I did one of these, I think I gave it like a B. Whereas I give Kaplan, A minus on. Nobody has. Well, I take that back. My friend Brian Lee, his test key practice finds I think are the standard, and I keep trying to get him to write more practice questions, but he responds by saying he doesn't write practice questions. He's writing questions from debrief that he thinks
Yeah.
he should be able to handle. So,
Mhm.
a
I
registered
have one of
rep.
them.
What's that? Have you done the test geek already?
Yeah, yeah, I have.
A registered rep has the authority in a discretionary account to do all the following except. So you have authority in a discretionary account. You can do all the following except.
C.
Yeah. Yeah. Another test taking trick I use, Nico, is called reduction to the ridiculous.
Yeah,
How could that possibly be a right answer that I'm allowed to
yeah.
close your account? Right? See. State issued unlimited tax GOs are backed by which of the following? I kind of like this. I kind of like this.
I'm gonna go with all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Right on. The automated confirmation system, a trade reporting facility, handles which of the following transactions? Again, this is what we keep running into every once in a while, one of these stupid ones that I just really don't think
No.
are going to
Yeah,
be.
I was gonna say all of them because like
Yeah, I mean
that's
that's. I
business.
would know what a third market trade is. I would definitely know what that is. That's a listed security traded over the counter.
Yeah.
That I would definitely know. What does LEAP stand for? What does LEAP stand for?
It's I know it's long term. Well, so leaps are long term,
Yeah, so long term. So that means you're saying it's either A or C.
and then equity anticipation.
Yeah, it is C.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
we should know what a leap is. A leap is an option contract that technically doesn't expire for 39 months.
Yep.
In practice, 30 months, 2.5 years. Wow.
And a leap contract is still just 100.
That's
One, yeah,
that's right. And remember, the leap is the only option that if you own, you could be at risk for more than 12 months. So the only option thing that can qualify for long-term capital gain would be owning a leap
mhm.
for more than a year. And then just think about the time value on that, Peppy, man. 2.5 years. You want me to stand
Yeah,
willing to deliver 100 shares for 2.5 years? I'm going to want some big premium.
yeah,
So sometimes the way they test on this is to ask you which of the following is most likely a leap. And you go, wow, look at the time value in that contract. Man, that must be a leap.
yeah.
Because it's just, compared to the other ones they're showing you, it has like, 10 points more premium. Which of the following is not a general consideration regarding communications with the public about variable life insurance and variable annuities? I have another stupid one.
So you you have to no. Mm,
Yeah, this one's kind of stupid.
okay,
Uh,
so you can't guarantee,
yeah, well,
and then
there's kind of the life insurance part of it. I'm going to just give you this one because it's not going to be on the test. The one that does show up every once in a while is, and I don't know why, every once in a while there's stupid questions, and it's about if you're going to use a hypothetical illustration about a variable life product, the highest period you can use is 12%. And then you have to have a zero in there, which is just stupid. But so that does show up every blue moon. Here, I just think it's a stupid question. The other question is you can't sell life insurance as an investment. So there has to be a life insurance need. So we don't sell you variable life as an investment opportunity. We sell it to you if you need life insurance.
yeah.
The idea here is that the separate account at some point would pay for the insurance.
And
And then
isn't like
very testable, you'd have to be duly registered to sell it. You'd have to be
yeah.
licensed to sell securities and insurance.
And then what the exception to have it in an IRA with
Yeah, you
the
would never put any kind of variable product in a
unless you're expecting like a life payment, right?
yeah, but
Yeah,
on
yeah.
circumstance, until you've maxed out everything else, you wouldn't be even considering a variable product. An investor can receive his or her cash dividend payment all the following ways, except when an investor can receive his or her cash dividend payment all the following ways, except when.
We go with D.
Yeah, I like D, but let's see what B says. A corporation.
No, 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 no. D, like all the above are
Yeah,
appropriate.
D, I get it, but I'm just looking at B
Oh, yeah.
because remember it said except. You can't take all of the above because it says except, right? So you're going to have to say one of these things is not true.
So that means, it has to be either A or B.
Right on, right on. That's correct.
Um, a corporation sends payments to the brokerage firm holding the investor shares in a street name, and the firm places a credit for that amount in the investor's account. A corporation sends payments to the brokerage firm holding the investor shares in a street name, and the firm forwards check. I'm gonna go with A.
It's actually B. We don't, we credit your account. We don't actually send you the dividend. There's no pass through in your brokerage
Oh
account.
yeah, you're so right.
Yeah, I think it's kind of another one of those stupid ones. This is another stupid one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what.
I don't understand why they think that's important to ask you, but what is buying and selling two options of the same class? Two options, buying and selling, two options, buying and selling with the same class, but with either different exercise prices, months, or both at the same time.
Spread.
Call. Right on, right on. Your improvement in options, my friend, is outstanding.
Thank you.
Which of the following can affect an investor's risk tolerance?
Personal experience. Um, can affect. Personal experience can affect. I'm gonna go with all the above.
Yeah, that should be a layup. That should be
Yeah.
a layup. A dealer proceeds on a principal basis. So that means I'm trading from inventory to fill a customer's order to buy 425 shares of PPG. Just me. I don't know why they keep giving us these odd lots in these
I know.
questions instead of just round lots. Given the dealer does not have the shares currently in his or her own inventory, he or she must buy the shares first in order to sell them to the customer. The current bid on PPG is 787, and the dealer actually purchases the shares at $8. What is the maximum the dealer could charge, including a 5% markup for executing the order? Nobody has ever told me they've had to calculate the percentage sales charge. This you just need to know the 5% policy doesn't apply to the primary market. It
Yeah.
maybe very rarely
Yeah.
no
I was
bid.
just gonna do the 425
Yeah.
times the 8.
I can't imagine you're going to have to do that, but you do need to know about the 5% policy,
Mhm.
right? It's a policy, not a rule. I can charge you more than 5%, but I better have a good reason. In relation to option contracts, a bearish outlook would result in all the following except that.
Bearish outlook will result except B.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Kind of, I'm glad we chose to take this one.
Oh yes. Yeah.
I like,
I'm like mixed. I'm like
yeah,
mixed. Yeah.
you're doing well. And I like their questions, but man, the phrasing is funky.
Yeah.
It's a funky phrasing, but I think that's what we kind of want to get some exposure to.
Exactly.
Right? But you should
Because
know that
like
purchasing
I've
price.
always took it as Kaplan being like the hard, like way harder than the
Yeah,
actual one.
right.
So I've been doing well in that, and then I see this one, I'm like, jeez.
Oh, no, you're doing great. You're doing great. Right. And we should know that that's, bullish. Given the following four exchange symbols, again, so we get to some of these stupid ones.
Yeah, it's like
Philadelphia hasn't been around for like forever. An investor over time makes each of the following 9% bond purchases. Which of them represents will be the lowest yield to maturity? I kind of like this question
I'm gonna go with
for this investor.
I'm gonna go with B.
Yeah, you're right, because we paid the highest price, right? Price up, yield down. Excellent. Investor would use index options for all the following strategies except all the following strategies except.
Yeah. Index options, buying calls, selling puts, the hedge, short portfolio. Okay, so when you're short, long call, short put, so A is true.
That's right on. Right on. A is true.
To hedge long, long a put, short a call. That's true.
Excellent.
So short. So if you short a stock and short put, unlimited loss. Buying puts or selling calls to hedge your short portfolio. I'm gonna go with C.
Man, excellent, my friend. That was excellent. I love your performance. When you're talking out loud and you're spot on like you were, just as your tutor, I just go, man, that's awesome. That whole thing, you were just spot on in terms of what you were doing. You say, now, yeah, I do hedge short positions with long calls and short puts. Yeah, I do hedge long positions with long puts and short calls. Nah, I don't hedge short portfolios with buying puts. We buy calls.
Yeah, because you would have
So
unlimited
it's
risk.
excellent. That was excellent. How are options classified? How are options classified?
Oh, okay. This one is class.
Class means
Oh, wait, no, series.
type plus the stock. So that's what class means. Class means type, call or put, plus the stock. Apple calls is a class.
So series.
A series is the most complete description of option. That would be, yeah, I say you're interested in Apple calls. Well, my God, Nico,
Okay,
there's
yeah,
all kinds of them.
yeah.
That would be the month and the strike and everything.
So all the above.
Yeah. What I would know is the most complete description of an option contract is the series.
Okay, okay, cool.
If I'm trying to get a quote for you, say, well, Dean, I'm listening to Apple calls. I go, well, Nico, there's lots of them. Which ones? You say the 190s. I go, well, which January, March, whatever.
Yeah.
States and municipalities may need to issue short-term notes to obtain needed financing. All the following are examples of these types of notes they may issue, except,
So they do issue bans, they do issue RANs.
that's right.
Um, they do issue trans, but they don't issue brands. So
Yeah, there's no such thing as a brand. I
yeah,
like that question. I like that one, right? I like it. I like it. Yeah, you will get tested on bans, trans, and rands, and then remember they have a unique credit rating called a MIG rating.
yep. Moody's
Moody's
investment
Investment
grade.
Grade. When considering anyone but the beneficial owner of an account having the authority to enter orders for the account, which of the following accounts must get confirmation of that authority in writing?
Considering anyone but the beneficial owner. Anyone but the beneficial owner.
So they're saying somebody's going to be able to
So
trade.
someone not the actual owner
That's right.
having the authority to enter orders.
That's right. You're on the right track. That's exactly what that's saying in plain English.
Which of the following accounts must get confirmation of that authority in writing? Um, I'm gonna go with fiduciary.
You are correct, right? We need to say this is the person who's allowed to do it. Excellent. An investor places an order to buy 220 PPG 66 GTC. That's a buy limit.
Mhm.
It's below the market. PPG declares a 3-for-2 stock split. What would the following would be the investor's order?
So a stock split, more shares, lower price.
Right on,
So
right
you,
on. So
so
more shares, so more than 220s. That's a 50-50
yeah,
at a lower price. So we have a 50-50. It's either A or C.
C. C.
I'm going to take my calculator. I'm going to take
Well, yeah, well,
3,
yeah, yeah.
divide by 2, and then I'm going to multiply that by 220 shares, and I get 110. right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my calculator on whatever the split is. This is 3 for 2. I'm going to take 3,
Yeah.
divide by 2, 3 divide by 2, and then I'm going to multiply, so I got 1.5
Mhm.
by the 220. So 1.5 times,
Okay, yeah, so it's a,
yeah, 330, right? I get 110 there. So that's how we do that.
so I do, yeah, exactly. So,
Right. You take
and
the
then
3
I do,
by
and then
2.
you, yeah, and then you do 66 times 2
Yeah.
divided by
But
3.
both at this point, we're actually done, but that's exactly right. We would take the 220 because now we only have one that has 330, but we could
Yeah,
go on and say, okay, so 220 times 66 is 14,520. I divide by the new 330 and I get that 44.
yeah.
Right? So on the real test, I think you're not going to have to do that because I don't think you're going to end up with two choices.
Mhm.
I think you're only going to end up with one that is more shares at a lower price. What is a customer account that requires the assets of the deceased party to become property of that party's estate rather than the surviving party? That is very testable.
A, A,
Yeah, it's tenants in common. And then you should know that transfer on death would be to avoid probate.
yep,
And that would be an individual account. And then you should know joint tenants with rights or survivorship. The
no
decedent share
certificate.
goes to the surviving party. Very testable. What would be the calculated profit on the purchase of a May 60 put for 3 if rates fell 5% by the expiration of this option? Who cares? This is a stupid one. They're not going to ask you to take anything in terms of percentage and figure it out.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so this would just, let's see,
Yeah, the
well,
testing question here would be what's the break even?
yeah,
57.
yeah,
What's the
exactly.
max loss? $300. What's the max gain? 57. So again, this is just another one of their stupid ones.
Yeah.
Which of the following terms refers to printed or processed analysis covering individual companies or industries? Again, another kind of a stupid one, but that is a research report
Yeah.
which require principal approval. Given the ooh, this is a test question.
Mhm.
Given the requirements for transacting in a new margin account, stupid but testable,
Yep.
what would be the required deposit for a customer purchasing 500 shares of EXL at 2?
It would, so since it is less than 2 grand, it's just 2 grand.
Whoa,
Wait. Okay, so you do
bad miss,
500,
my friend. If you buy
500.
less than 2 grand, you pay in full.
Oh, yes,
Less
yes.
than 2 grand, you pay in full.
In
So
a long, yep.
that's right, right? Between
So,
2 grand and 4 grand, you play 2 grand. With that, this
yeah,
is very much a test question. The answer is 1,000, right? Less than 2,000, you pay in full, right? So you were correct on the 2,000, but it's not
yeah,
2,000. It's if
exactly.
it's less than 2, you pay in full,
In a
right?
long account, but if it's
That's
in
right.
a short, you pay too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think you'll see the short account, but absolutely,
Yeah, yeah,
because of that credit balancing,
yeah,
absolutely. But there's an example. Don't be making a question something it's not, right? So
exactly.
this wasn't a short account,
Yeah.
so.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Investor
1%.
purchases one SPX May 509 call for 3. When the option expires, the index is quoted at 522.31. First, how much will this investor's account be credited as a result of the index current quote and the index call that was purchased? Second, what will be the net profit made from this position? I like this question. So what they're testing on is, do you know that index options settle in cash?
Yes.
Very testable. And then index options, both the contract and the exercise are both T plus 1.
Mhm.
So now what we got to do is we got to figure out what is the intrinsic value that you're going to receive, because they don't have to deliver to you, 100, the SPX is an index. I don't have to deliver you the stocks and the index, thank God, because nobody would play with you if that was the case. Right. So what we're going to do is we got to figure out, well, the 300 is easy, but now we're
So
going to.
so the 1331 is true. So now we just have to figure out this either 1631 or the
That's
10.
right. We got to figure out the intrinsic value, because so we're going to take 522.31 and we're going to minus 509.
Yeah, 1331.
Oh, you're ahead of the tutor. That's how
Yeah.
you progressed,
Yeah.
my student. What was that guy, the Kung Fu guy? Grasshopper.
Yeah.
Nico Grasshopper. You were way ahead of me. So you're correct. So that's 1331. And then I'm going to back out the premium. Did you already do that too?
Well, and then I paid for the premium, so you take away 300
That's
bucks,
exactly
so
right.
it'd be 1031.
Yep, right on. So that 74, the answer is indeed B.
Yep.
Excellent. I like it. Again, we've been commenting, and you other test takers can give your thanks to Nico for agreeing to take a ride that has not been
Yeah, oh yeah, this like
approved by OSHA.
yeah,
I like it. Here's another one of the question. I like this question. I like what it's getting at. I don't think it'll be phrased this way on the test, but the takeaway is certainly testable of the question. So, I'm finding myself liking the question, even though I don't like the kind of, the phraseology of it.
yeah.
The takeaways are good. In relation to the opening of a new customer account, all the following are true except.
Hey,
So 75, the principal and representative most sign, accept, both sign the account. That is true. Principal of the firm must accept of the four within 30 days. Yep. Okay. I like it. I like it. An investor owns 100 shares of PPG at 31.25. He or she sells one PPG August 38 call with a premium of one. What would be the break even and maximum total gain for this investor on his or her position?
yeah, I got this. I just have to write it down for a
Yeah,
second.
yeah. So what we're gonna do is take the 31.25
Yeah,
minus the one. So 30 and a quarter, right, is our break
yeah,
even. It's the one time only we subtract because it's a stock position
yep,
and we're generating additional income, and then we're gonna have to give up the stock at the strike.
yeah.
And so the
So,
strike is 38. And so we would just take the 3,800 minus or 38 minus the 30 and a quarter.
mhm.
And I think that gives us the answer.
So, um, yeah. So it's either B. Yes, exactly. So it can't be
Right. Yeah,
$7.75.
yeah, I like the question again because break even is expressed as a per share number,
Yeah,
right? And the total gain or loss is not. So I kind of like that one again. Kind of funky
yeah.
language
And
again, but
whatever,
good.
and whatever. So what I've been doing to help with those is I'll put like an arbitrary number.
Oh, I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I believe I wish more people do that like on a judgment question. I did one the other day, and it was so esoteric. And I said, well, let's just assume that, let's put some numbers in it, just make up some
yeah,
numbers. And that will take care of a lot of like what the heck they're saying.
yeah,
Right? So
because it lets you know that the stock is the position that you're
yeah,
following.
I like that. Particularly, I know a lot of test takers will do that like on spreads that are missing premiums.
Mhm.
Assuming you know that a lower strike call has a greater premium, that'll
Yep,
work. Right? Give
yep,
two numbers. Locally issued GO bonds are backed primarily by property taxes. Yes.
yep.
Given the property has a market value of 375 and a total assessment of 80%, what would be your property assessed valuation?
So you do
Again, assessed
375.
valuation is different, so it would be 80% of the 375. But nobody has ever had to do this, that I've heard of on the test in years.
Yeah,
Usually that was based on the assessed
uh
valuation.
we actually had this on our last coaching call.
What's that?
We actually had
Oh, did we? There you go.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, we just take here the 80% of the 375, we get 300.
yeah.
And again, I haven't had anybody in years tell me they've had to do anything like that. Which characteristics of treasury strips include? So treasury separate trading, these are zeros issued by the US Treasury.
Yep. So it is selling to investors
Yeah, you
as
should definitely
fund.
know two is true. You should definitely know this is a zero coupon bond. That is very testable.
So so two and selling to investors as a bundle of both. 2 and 4.
It's actually 2 and 3 because you
Oh yeah, that's what I was stuck in. Yeah,
yeah, 2 and 3. I thought you were going to get it. I thought you were going to
yeah,
get um I wouldn't really worry too much about a strip except to know that it's a government zero coupon bond, so you don't have any credit risk, right? And then I would know that all zero coupon bonds, you have to do straight line amortization upward called accretion,
mhm,
and you're going to owe taxes on that accreted amount, right? The U.S. Treasury can and will tax you on the imputed interest you're receiving. Now, there's
Oh,
another version of this. There's another version of this issued by broker dealers, and those are called treasury receipts,
mhm.
and they come from broker dealers. Which long types? Oh boy, geez. If you miss this one, Nico, on the real test, I
Oh
think you
yeah.
should just flunk immediately. Your seat should shoot you into the ceiling and say, how could you not get that layup?
Yeah, it's C.
Yeah, Ginnie Mae is definitely testable, right? You should also know Ginnie Mae pays interest in principal monthly. You should also know that Ginnie Mae is fully taxable.
Mhm.
What is a dealer violation involving a dealer not honoring his or her published quote? This is very testable.
Backing away.
Right on. The following are types of trust accounts except.
So A and D are trust accounts. So it's either between B and C, the basic trust account, complex trust account. I'm gonna go with C.
Yeah, we got you. There are complex trusts. There's no such thing as a basic trust. We have simple trust, but not basic trusts. So,
Yeah.
I don't think
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
big deal, in terms of the test. But what type of account is most often used for personal estate planning due to the potential tax benefits?
B.
Right on your family limited
Oh,
partnership. Yeah. Well, this wouldn't be tax benefits. There's no tax benefits to these.
oh yeah, yeah. Tax benefit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Nope.
I wouldn't worry too much about the family limited partnership. 83. An investor is selling 320 shares of SRN. In order to make good and complete delivery, which of the following round lot combinations would allow him or her to do that? The way I think this is piles of 100, and then
Yep.
everything else, the odd lot, that 20 shares has to be a separate delivery, two tens or 20s.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with A.
You are correct. Excellent. All the following balance sheet transactions result in a reduction in cash except.
I'm gonna go with
Again, I
uh
kind of like this one.
A. A.
That raises cash.
Yeah.
Right. So Nico, I did a building this off grid thing. I bought this awesome lithium battery. I mean, this thing is incredibly,
Mhm.
I could, fly the Millennium Falcon with this thing. And then I was watching the videos of this company where they're doing a tour of the factory and all this stuff. And wow, and I thought, man, I don't know how many batteries they sell, but I'm sure that what was paying for all this stuff is not selling batteries, selling securities.
Yeah.
Right, they're selling stocks and bonds to, anyways, I went back and somebody told me something about them and I went back and oh my God, the videos are gone.
Oh, oh really?
There's the factory has disappeared. I'm like, oh my
Jeez.
God. And what I think probably happened, Nico, is they ran out of financing.
Yeah.
They weren't selling enough batteries and then people wouldn't buy any more of their stock. And so uh needless to say, I don't think I'm going to be able to make them perform on my 10-year warranty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully, hey, battery works great, but and then I looked in the battery I bought. They have a bunch of them that are discontinued, and then they have these new Chinese batteries. I'm like, oh man,
Jeez.
when I was trying to find more information, but who knows? But I'm sure it was a financing problem.
Hopefully it lasts you a long time.
There you go. But like, apparently I'm supposed to get like 10,000 life cycles. Everybody loves my battery. Who knows anything about batteries? So, as long as it works, what do I care? But,
True.
an investor with the opinion that interest rates will fall will do which of the following? I kind of like that. You could expect a yield-based option question.
So interest rates.
And, the testable thing about this is that they have a direct relationship with interest rates.
Yeah, exact. Yeah, exactly. So, if interest rates fall, then you would buy a put,
Right on.
and then you would sell a call.
Right on. So that would be choice buy a
Yes.
put and sell a call 1 in 4. Under Rule 203, a broker dealer is prohibited from initiating an equity short sale for either his or her account unless the customer, which of the following is true. So this is all regulations show, and I would know that you are supposed to be able to borrow the security before you initiate the short sale.
Yeah, and then it's broker is prohibited from initiating equity short sale for either his or her own account or customers unless which is following. Um, two.
For sure.
We'll go with two only.
We got you because we have what's called an easy to borrow list. So if
Oh
I
my
know that it
gosh.
can be borrowed, I can do that.
Yeah.
I've already arranged a loan. So it's one, two,
Two.
three. One, two, and three.
Well, yeah. Oh gosh.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. The point is you can't sell short the stock until you borrowed it or know that you can borrow it. Right? If you don't do that, it's called naked short selling. What can the party responsible for the management of a fiduciary account do?
One.
For sure.
I guess one of them. One is in every
Well,
option.
that's okay though. I mean, that's part of being a test taker, right?
Yeah.
I like it because you're getting to be a better test taker. You damn, I
Yeah.
didn't
It's like, oh
get it for
god.
that one.
Yeah.
I could have looked at the answer set first and then no,
Yeah.
we don't need to burn brain cells on one.
Yeah. Okay. Two is true.
That's correct.
So that leaves us to A and B.
That's right. You're right on. So you got to decide now. And so you're taking one and two. So you got to decide what you're going to do with three or four.
Yep. So he or she may have limited power of attorney to buy and sell securities and withdraw only securities, not cash. He or she may have full discretion. Yeah, yeah. So limited power of attorney, you don't.
I like what you might want to do is like just on the answer sets, just put yes or no. So you actually had the answer. Let's see if you still have it. You said yes to number one. You said yes to number two. You said yes to number four.
Yeah, yeah. So because limited power of attorney, you can't. Um,
Yeah,
you
he or she may have limited power of attorney, buy, sell securities.
no.
And
So it's yeah. So I'm gonna go with A here.
yeah, it's A. It's A. It's kind of a funky A, but remember they can do that depending on the type of trustee they are, fiduciary. So one, two, and four. A specialist can handle all the following types of orders except. I kind of like.
Um,
So the specialist has an order book where he, keeps track of the orders.
mm, I'm in between B and C. Or
Yep. B or C, and I think a way to think about this is all of these orders have qualifiers or contingencies except one. I kind of like the question again, kind of a funky way to get about it, but there'd be no reason for a specialist to handle a market order because
yeah, that's what I was. Yeah,
yeah, there's
exactly.
no reason for that to be on his order book, right? That should be
Yeah.
immediate execution, best available price. All those other orders have a contingency or qualifier that the specialist, the designated market maker, would be doing that. The other one that will show up on your exam is market not held.
Mhm.
Market not held is handled by a floor broker, not a specialist. All of them would be considered long-term liabilities except long-term liabilities. Remember, those are things that are you owe over a year.
Accounts payable.
Right on. What does a buy limit order do?
So it's not C. So it can't be D. Allows an investor to set a maximum price you should.
I like this one.
Yeah. So A.
Yeah. And then B would be the sell limit. That's a good one.
So
I like
that's
this
all. Yeah.
question. If I was going to steal a question, for my own stuff, that
Yeah.
would be what I'd steal. Or I shouldn't say steal, that's a harsh word, plagiarize.
Yeah.
A customer places an order with a brokerage firm to sell 320 shares of PPG. They love PPG.
I know. I know.
The current bid of PPG is 510. Considering a customary 5% dealer markdown, I don't know why in the world they think this is important to ask us to calculate the percentage markdown. We're not going to have to do it. The answer is B. I'm not worried about it. What is an investment that involve, by the way, I told you the test question is already about the 5% policy.
Yeah.
You need to
Right.
know it doesn't apply to the primary market. It's a policy, not a rule. It's for the guidance of wise men and women. We have to have a normal pattern to our charges, a commission schedule. We depart from it. We got to have a reason. Please note, MSRB doesn't have a number. The MSRB doesn't say 5%. It just says whatever it is should be fair and reasonable. What is an investment that involves investors receiving interest and principal payments, ooh, on a monthly basis as a result of mortgages being paid down? I like it.
C.
It's a color. What's another name for like a Ginnie Mae?
C. C. CMO.
No, CMOs when we slice it up,
Wait. A
it says pass through, right? We're
yeah.
passing
Yeah.
through the interest and principal payments.
Yeah.
Ginnie Mae, Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac. CMO would have been if we carve it up into separate payments,
Yes, very true.
interest and
Pass
principal,
through
separate
certificates.
payments, right?
Yeah.
What is the dollar value that any gift from a member person to another member may not exceed in 1 year? That's very much a test question.
C.
Right on, aim and shoot, point and click. Which of the following are true of interest rate options? Which of the following are true of interest rate options? By the way, these are not interest rate options anymore. They're called yield-based options. Yield-based options. And again, doesn't matter whether they're formerly known as interest rate options or now known as yield-based options. The point is, can be either puts or calls. You can use them to profit from interest rates, and you can
Yep.
use them as a hedge, right?
Yep. I was gonna say all the above.
Right on. Rule 80B was established to protect against the creation of a disorderly market during times of extraordinary and high volatility. These are called circuit breakers. It is enforced by the new pillar rule 7.12. If the S&P falls by a certain percentage within a day, all trading must stop. Which of the following is one of the percentage drops that enacts the circuit breaker, the halt in trading?
I'm gonna go with B
Right. Remember, it's 7, 13, and 20. You know what the halt is? How long is the halt?
for the day.
Well, 7 and 13 is 15 minutes.
Oh,
20,
okay.
20 is the rest of the day. Which of the following are considered to be actions falling under the role of a dealer?
So, the principal dealer markup. So one is not true.
That's right. Commission means agent, broker. Right on. So good job.
Out of their inventory. So two is true.
That's correct.
So that leaves us with A, B, and D.
Yeah. So you need 2 and you
Um,
need 3 without 1.
Yeah. So fills the role of market maker. May facilitate only the order execution for a customer. I'm gonna go with 2 and 3.
Excellent. 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 Under which of the following are requirements for a Uniform Gift to Minors Act account?
1 and 4.
1 for sure.
And then 1, 4, and then the account stating UGMA, which
Yeah.
assets are currently registered in child's name. 1. Okay, so it's 1 and 4.
1 and 4 for sure. You're correct.
So then it has to be 1, 2, 3, and 4.
2, the assets that are currently registered in the child's name is the nominee. He's not the non-owner. He's the
No,
benefit.
no. So
Yeah, the
1
kind of
through
stupid
4.
one. 1, 3, and 4, right? 1, 3, and 4. It's testable. This is not going to be testable. What is going to be testable is again 1 minor, 1 custodian per account, kids tax ID, no margin.
I thought they don't have the those like 4 1, 2, 3, 4 number options.
They do not. They do not. But all vendors, including Kaplan, still use the
Okay, cool.
multiples, right? So good news or bad news. The multiples only exist anymore on the NASDAQ exams. However, that's not as big a deal as it was because this used to frustrate me. In the art of test writing, psychometrics is the art of test writing. This shouldn't be a multiple anyways. It should say, and this is how they would fix it for the current test, all the following are requirements of UGMA except.
Mhm.
right? And so this would be the same question now, except it would be A, B, C, D, and B would be the accept.
Yeah, because the custodian is the
So,
manager.
this again, Nico, have you taken your NASDAQ exams yet, or is that next up?
Next.
So one of the things, again, this is some people don't like test taking tricks. I take all kinds of heat from people like me who help people pass tests who think, we should
Yeah.
not teach people tricks. Okay, that being said,
Yeah.
when I get a multiples of test taker, assuming the person is a professional test writer, they are going to use a multiple to test you on two of a thing or four of a thing. So my first thing when I get a multiple question is to say, I'm going for all four. And then I'm going to go through each and see if I can talk myself out. One of those multiples I know to be true or false. And then I'm going to be predisposed to want to eliminate another. Because if they're going to ask you about one of a thing, it would say which of the following is true. If they're going to test you about three of a thing, all the following are true except. So in proper test writing, you should only use multiples when you're going to test a candidate on two of a thing or four of a thing. Now, obviously, the person at Mometrics isn't a professional test writer because these are, as we said, kind of funky questions. I like some of them, but some of them are kind of weird. Which of the following dollar amounts is represented by a treasury bond with a quote of
So I do
97.08? I
eight
like this.
point. So eight
Our
divided by,
calculator,
yep.
and we're going to take 8. We're going to divide by 32,
So it is B.
and then we're going to times by a bond point, which is 10, and I get 250. And
B.
this part should be easy. The 97 would be 970. So that should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
Right. So we take 30 seconds. It's testable. No, these trade in 30 seconds.
Well, no, yeah. So wait, so it'd be B.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Right on. The parents of 3 children, A, B, and C, would like to set up a Uniform Gift to Minors Act account for them. Which of the following setups would be approved of the Uniform Gift to Minors Act account requirements? I like this. They're getting at the testable point
It's
of
one
one
minor,
minor, one
one.
custodian per account, right?
Yep. Um, the rest. D then?
It's actually C, right? Sole
Oh,
custodian. You can't have
so
joint custodians, right? D is not correct. You can't have a mother and a father. It's going to be
oh,
one
well,
custodian, one minor per account. Now, I don't like this particular question, but the content of this question is very testable. Which of the following persons are considered corporate insiders?
all of them.
Yeah, right on. Which of the following are necessary for a floor broker? Ooh, I like this. So this is the floor broker executes orders for clients of member firms. The biggest test question is they do market not held orders, but now they're asking, I am the Morgan Stanley floor broker and I want to cross it between customer A and customer B. And so what the New York Stock Exchange says is I first have to see if is there better execution out in the auction. If you join me for a 24 someday, I will go over this at length, but I don't think you'll see that on the 7th. But the floor broker has to first say, okay, hey, I want to do this cross
Yeah.
and offer it a penny better out in the auction. And the specialist stock must allow it. And then boom, I wouldn't worry about that at all on 7th. An individual is in the beginning stages of forming a limited partnership and first needs to file a certificate of limited partnership within the state he or she plans to do business. Which of the following must be included on that certificate? Kind of funky, but I like it.
So 4 is true,
4 is true. Indeed, 4 is true.
and they all have 4 in them. 3 is true.
3 is true. So we need 3 and 4. You're correct.
3 and 4. So that leaves us to A and C.
Yeah.
So let's see. So C doesn't have 2. Let's see what 2 is. Educational and professional backgrounds of all partners. General. I'm gonna go with 1, 3, and 4.
Excellent, right? The limited partner, that I don't think you my educational background as a limited partner.
Yeah,
Say, listen, I'm the guy giving you the money. I don't have to,
yeah,
in this beauty contest, I'm not a contestant, I'm a
yeah.
judge. I don't.
Now I'm thinking about that earlier question. I'm so mad I didn't
Oh,
choose.
don't worry about it, right? Hey, we're just practicing our skills and perfecting our performance. We're not,
Yeah.
you're not at risk based on what's going on. What should mutual fund sales literature do?
It sh should utilize. Mm, should not contain general statements comparing the relative safety of mutual funds versus B.
To do all of them, kind of a stupid question, right?
Yeah.
All of them. Again, stupid question. Which of them would be appropriate investment for an investor seeking investments with tax benefits? I kind of like this one.
Muni bonds.
Yeah, muni bonds for sure, right?
So 4, and then DPPs.
Yeah, they have the flow through indeed.
So 4 and 1. So only one with 4 and 1 in it is D.
Yeah. So tax benefits.
So 1, 4.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to miss this one. I think.
Okay.
Um,
So
I'm trying to figure out an answer set that works, and I know that we're going to toss three out, right?
yeah, exactly.
So if we toss three out, we got to either take 1, 2, and 4. And I don't
Or
like
4.
taking 2 because there's no tax benefits to the variable annuity. I mean,
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with C.
yeah, I think C is our best answer. Again, I just based on the answer set being offered to us. But we definitely know that 4 is definitely true. We should know that. Whether
Yeah,
we
and
miss it or
annuity,
not is a
yeah,
different
and
thing. But
annuities don't. Yeah.
an investor purchase all the following option contracts. Wow, good customer, I guess.
Mhm.
Giving the current pricing of each stock, which of the contracts he or she move to exercise in order to maximize his or her investment or potential profit? Wow, kind of a funky kind of a question.
Would it be 2 and 3?
Yeah, right on. I think they're getting at this concept of intrinsic value.
Yeah.
That's how I would have answered it
Well,
as
I was thinking more of like the whole tax minimization.
yeah, well, but you got it right.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay.
I think what I would have done is looked at the in the money intrinsic value and said, yeah, I would, we'll automatically do it for you. But what I'm noticing is 2 and
True,
3 are
true.
in the
Yeah.
money and 1 and 4 are not. So that
Yep.
you wouldn't exercise a contract that's out of the money.
Yeah.
Of the different types of preferred stock, which one often has the feature of enabling its owner to receive both a preferred and a common dividend? Kind of a funky way to ask it.
Um, C.
Yeah, right on. I think it's a funky way to ask it, but that's indeed correct. One of the set 107, which of these categories of earnings listed on income statement is the source for paying out dividends to shareholders? Ooh, tough balance sheet kind of one.
What's a common? Oh, I'm gonna go with A.
Yeah, that's a hard one. You missed it. It's net income after taxes.
Oh,
But
I was in between A and C.
yeah, that's a real tough one. Right, but it's net income after taxes. That's the money available, and then we pay the dividends to preferred stockholders. After we pay the preferred stockholders, then we have earnings available common. So not a bad miss, my friend, not a bad miss. A firm representative is found to have entered a market order that was influenced by information from a report that has not yet been made public. Which prohibited practice are they engaged in?
Um, Trading ahead.
Right on. A registered rep in opening a corporate account may have to obtain which of these from the corporation?
The well, it has to be your corporate resolution.
Right on.
3. So that leaves us with A, B, and C. Corporate charter.
Definitely.
So one. So A or C. Four. One, two. If this is probably all of them.
Yeah, it is, and I just think
Yeah.
it's weird. It's a funky
Yeah.
one again because certificate of incumbency is usually associated with a new adult, but it's
No.
about who has the control of the asset. So you are correct. I wouldn't worry about number two at all, but I would definitely know the corporate charter to see if they're allowed to do margin. I would definitely know corporate resolution, saying who can trade, and then corporate bylaws. An investor establishes a position involving a bear call spread. Well, thank you so much. I wouldn't count on the actual exam to tell you that you're looking at a bear call spread.
Yeah. So
And so what is the investor's total gain on this position?
it would be 300.
Oh man, you are so good at options and ego nowadays, man. I'll tell you.
Thank you.
You're not even breaking a sweat on some of these. On a corporation's balance sheet, assets minus liabilities represents which of the following?
Shareholders' equity. Assets minus liability is your net worth,
Yeah,
which represents three only.
it's actually three and four. They're basically,
I knew that. I literally said that. I literally
I know
said
you
that.
did. You said it, and then when you
Yeah.
so when you take the test again, your performance is excellent. You're not at risk. There's no material problem. But just make sure when you're on the test and you say your answer, you hit your button and you move on, right? Don't talk yourself into the answer and then back out of the answer. And you have a good news. You have abundance, and abundance means that any one thing isn't going to make a difference materially, and that's where you want to be, right? You're operating from abundance, so that means you don't have to beat yourself up on any individual question that you
Right.
may do that. SIBO are actual employees of the exchange. This is stupid. I haven't anybody ever tell me they did that. In the old days, they used to test on the $2 broker, helping the floor broker with order overflow. I haven't had anybody tell me they've seen anything like this in years. What's the longest true commercial paper?
It is the so it's short term.
That's correct.
Um,
Short term,
it's issued at a discount to face
right
value.
out. All of them. That's very testable. Bankers' acceptances, good
T-bills.
discount, T-bills, right on. All the following are considered institutional investors except, oh no, individual investors are
Wait,
institutional.
no. Um,
Which of the following are considered institutional investors?
um,
The way I think of institutional investors is I think of them as not being a living,
yeah,
breathing
person.
human being.
Yeah, I was gonna go with A.
It's all of them, actually.
What? No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, but I don't think you'll do that. The one you will get tested on is a QUIB, a qualified institutional buyer of securities under 144A, which is $100 million in assets under management. You'll be tested on what they can do, which is buy unregistered foreign and domestic securities, and they might ask you about a private investment made by QUIBs or accredited investors into public entities. Which of the following is a type of account ownership?
All of them.
Right on. Yeah, well, those are all accounts we have at the broker-dealer. Given a bond purchase at a premium, all the following are true except.
The investment yield would be less than the bond's coupon rate.
Again, I kind of like it. This is a judgment.
Except. So, B is a premium.
Right on.
The purchase price is higher than so D is a premium.
That's right. B is correct.
Higher than par price indicates an expected higher yield. Um, C.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent. That was a funky way to get tested on that, but I like the takeaway. I like the takeaway. Investor has sold short 275 shares of PPG at 26. The current market price is 11. Woo, looking good in the neighborhood. The investor sees news of the company that may indicate a price increase. Over the short term. Which of the following would provide the investor with a guaranteed protection? Wow, so guaranteed protection against missing a purchase of PPG at a level at which he or she could still make a profit. So we're trying to protect a profit.
Yep. So to protect your profit in a short position, you do a buy stop.
That's right. So we got two of those. So now we got to
So,
decide on A or C. You're absolutely correct. We use
yeah.
stop orders to stop losses, protect profits, or establish stock positions. And now the stock is, where's the stock? 11?
Yes. So it's at 11. So 32 would be crazy.
Yeah,
So it would be A.
excellent. I like their investment questions. I don't like the wording so much, but I like the takeaway from their investment questions. I think are pretty good, like that last one at a premium. This looks like 118. Let's see if it follows form. All the following are true convertible bonds, except.
So convert.
Again, I like this question.
Okay. Share appreciation will benefit the bondholder capital appreciation upon. A is true. Convertible bonds have a lower,
Right on.
so it's
Excellent.
so D.
Good job. Good job. You are solid on the investment part. What is the maximum amount that may be contributed to a 529? Who cares? That's not
Oh,
test.
yeah, 17, and then 85 front load
Yeah.
for 5
The
years.
test question here is going to be that it's so much a better deal than a Coverdale that, you should, in fact, I've been tutoring people who tell me their firms don't even offer Coverdales now because the 529 just kicks its butt at every level.
And
What is the amount of a corporation's earnings that would be attributed to all of its common shareholders as dictated by each of the outstanding individual shares called? Wow, that's kind of a weird one. What is the amount of a corporation's earnings that would be attributed to all of its common shareholders as dictated by each of the outstanding and key point individual shares called? Funky.
so I know you dilute by
Yeah, well, there may be potential dilution, right, as dictated by outstanding individual shares. So earnings per share, your point, if you're doing process elimination, I would agree with you that I would toss out A because there's nothing in here about convertibles being converted, right? So there's nothing here about, that. So I would toss that out. And it
so I'm gonna
says,
go earnings available to the common. That looks like the most.
well, but remember, it says individual shares.
Oh, earnings per share.
Yeah, yeah. So that one was, I think I think that's a test question? I do not.
Yeah.
Which following is true of the NASDAQ? I think it is
Um,
testable to know that the difference between the NASDAQ marketplace and the New York Stock Exchange
so
marketplace.
the NASDAQ is quotes. Um, so I'm gonna go with D.
It stands for the National Association of Securities Dealers Auction.
No, no. All right, wait. All right,
No, auction is New York.
I know, yeah, I know.
It stands for National Association of Securities Dealers Automated, not
Automated
auction,
quotation.
automated quotation system.
So I'm gonna
Yes.
go with B.
Right on. That's exactly what it is, right? That level one, level two, level three, right?
Yeah.
That's the electronic network. Which of the following bond terms represents the amount loaned by an investor to an issuer, and which in most case is $1,000?
Bond terms represents the amount loaned by an investor to an issuer. Uh, all the above.
Yeah, I like that. I like some of their like
No,
flashcard kind of questions.
yeah. They're killing me with the none of the above, all the above, all
Yeah.
four.
Yeah. Which of the following securities are exempt from trace? If you join me for 24, I would go over with you what's called the Trade and Reporting and Compliance Engine.
So
And you,
trace only concerns corporate
right on, good job. It's about
bonds.
corporate. So munis, do you know what munis use? I'm just poking around because you're doing pretty. Emma,
Emma.
right on, good job, right, Emma. So um, securities exchange, registered corporate debt, both corporate and domestic, mortgage-backed securities, CMOs, and so it's actually Which are exempt? Ooh, so I
So,
had to go back and read again. Which of the following
so
securities are exempt from trace reporting? So I was on the back side of the
I think
question.
it's 1, 3, and 4. What was
Yeah, it's actually one. I mean, the debt securities are going to be on there. And it's dual side reporting. You have to report in 15 minutes and it's released to FINRA. I don't think you'll see this on the 7, but no, 24, it's definitely there. A father is named as a fiduciary of an account for his minor child. He has traded in and out of the account with low to moderate risk securities, reinvest the account distributions in a timely manner, named the child's mother with equal discretionary authority over the account, and avoided participating in options transactions. Which of the actions named above is not approved and within the set of guidelines regarding a fiduciary's duty to managing an account? Oh my God.
D?
Yeah, that you can't name somebody else's discretionary authority. That's
Or
not in your purview, right?
naming
Kind
child,
of a funky
wait,
question.
naming the child's mother with equal,
Yeah, you can't, as a fiduciary, name somebody else as a fiduciary.
you can't name, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say, hey, Nico, help me out here, right? No. Which of the following is true of a warrant for stock PIX?
It's above current market price, long term. It's a sweetener.
Right on.
Um, so let's see. So it can't be one.
It's not one.
So that gives us either B or D. As compared to a right, a warrant is more valuable due to its longer life. I would say that's true.
That's right. Time value, right? That time value in that.
So it's a security that provides the holder the chance to purchase. I think that's rights. It's
It
to,
is.
yeah. So 3 and 4 are my answer.
Excellent. Excellent. I think that was really like the performance there, how you reasoned your way through that one. And I do, like I say, I do like some of these questions. I like this question. These provoke some thought. Again, I'm not a big fan of how spot on they are to what you're going to counter on your exam, but I do like the takeaways and the content. And like I say, it prevents us from like, oh, I remember there's one. It's B. It's C. It's D. Calculate the current yield on a 9.5% bond, having paid 12.50 for the bond. Current yield is very testable.
Yeah, so it's your annual so
Yeah,
it's
what
your
it pays you. So
what it pays you
what's it pay us?
12.50. So
No, it
it's
doesn't pay us 12.50. That's what we paid for it. It pays us 9.5% based on par.
your current yield is your 9.5
Yeah,
divided by,
$95 in annual interest divided by what we pay, 12.50, 7 point. So that 9.5% you should definitely know is based on par. You should definitely know that's
so it's
$95.
8%.
Nope. If we take 95,
Yeah.
95, we divide by 12.50. What it pays us.
Mine rounds to point
Oh,
eight.
that's okay.
It
So
could be
but
7%,
if I
7.6.
take, I'll just check it. We take $95, we divide by 12.50, and I get 7.6 is what I get on my calculator,
Yeah, I did on the computer one.
right? So we don't want to be giving up current yield questions.
That's crazy that this one rounds to 8. So like
Yeah,
most
yeah, yeah. What is it? Your phone or something? Let me see.
no, it's just like
Oh,
a
hey, Nico, you got 10 days. Oh, yeah, that's way too complicated. Just this is the one they handed to the site. So just, go down to, whatever the drugstore and
yeah.
buy one. And this is exactly what they give you. Just a little I don't know, $5, $6. Um, who knows anymore? They probably got the thing under lock and key. Drives me
Yeah.
anymore. I go into like, to buy something
So
and
true.
get a
So
clerk to
true.
open up the glass case.
Yeah, like a soap.
Yeah, crazy. Which of the following actions regarding stock PIX would be considered a violation for any registered representative?
Um, all all of them.
All right, right on. Which of the following investments would not be considered appropriate for somebody who wants current income?
A.
Yeah, you're pretty solid on the investments. I'm really, remember the investments are 91 questions
Mhm.
and, you're rocking and rolling on them. Which of the following is not a purpose of 33?
B.
Right on. All the following are true of discretionary accounts except.
A.
Yeah, you can get that with, again, reduction of the
Yeah.
ridiculous. What does the world look like if you're the only one who looks at your
Yeah.
accounts? Right? What role do corporate bondholders take?
Um, I don't think bondholders don't have voting rights.
That's right. They certainly
So,
do not. They're creditors, right?
so that takes out A.
That's right.
Um, okay. Let's see. Um, they have priority over preferred. That's true. 3 is true.
That's correct.
So it's either B or D. They are considered creditors. I'm gonna go with D.
You are correct, indeed. Indeed. All the following are options for an investor who possesses a warrant to purchase common stock, except when.
Mm,
Yeah, funky wording.
all the following are options for an investor who possesses a warrant to purchase common stock. B.
Yeah, I think this is a weird, funky question. I'm going to kind of assume what they're asking us is which is not a good thing. And so the investor sells the warrant to another investor. You can certainly do that. The
Mhm.
investor exercises the warrant and uses to purchase common stock at the subscription price, the strike price, indeed.
Do that.
And it
So
says all the above are options for an investor who owns a warrant. So now let's look at the A choice. The warrant will expire. That doesn't sound like good news to me. And if the current stock is above the subscription price, yes.
no,
So I'm going to say that's A actually.
yeah, yeah.
But again, I think the wording is not clear what they're getting at. I think they're getting at this is a bad thing if you want a warrant and the stock is above the strike price. Register up trading on equity on non-public information and his or her account before trading for clients is
Front running.
right on. You're pretty good at the prohibited practices,
Mhm.
right? So I don't think that means, Nico, you're going to go to your manager and say, man, I'm glad I passed my sevens. I could do some front running and
Yeah.
trade ahead and
It's like
breakpoint
I
sales,
know the game, yeah.
fictitious accounts. Right? How would a consolidated tape? I haven't had anybody in
Oh, I
years.
know this one though. I know this one.
Okay, yeah, okay, well,
Yeah,
okay.
it's well,
What do you
you're
tell me? So 4,500 shares, so it's going to be round lots, right?
yeah.
So
So consolidated tape just only shows the exactly what
yeah.
you're getting. It doesn't fix in like any sales
Mhm.
charge or
That's right. Yeah.
any
I
commission.
always joke. I mean, I haven't had anybody seen it in years, but you can practice this by watching CNBC. On CNBC on the bottom, they run the tape.
Yeah.
You can see the prices go by. And back in the old days, we didn't have like quote machines, and we would have what we don't say this, you'll get in trouble, but we used to call them lobby lizards. These are, our older clients who would come in all day and watch the tape and, drink
Just
our
like yeah,
coffee and,
go in right in. Yeah. Yeah.
so. In fact, some broker dealers back in the day would have, particularly in like your retired communities, have people actually die in the office watching the tape, which is really bad form, right? Like, oh,
That'd be crazy to see.
yeah. Technical analysis follows chart patterns in order to predict the future price performance.
All of them.
Which of the following are chart patterns recognized and used by these analysts?
All of them.
Right on. Well, let's see. Cyclical trend. Yeah, I don't know if I would use cyclical trend lines, but uh,
Well, then it'd be resistance,
yeah, that
consolidation,
upward trend
upward
lines, that's a
line,
resistance line.
3, 4. Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Are you sure you want to finish this test? We do indeed.
Yeah.
I've never seen how this works, so not bad. We tossed out a couple that we thought were unfair. So let's just go through this real quick. I'll post for those watching in the video replay the
I
answer.
did not think I got it. I did not think I got that high, actually.
Right. Oh, well, yeah, but I don't know why you would doubt yourself. I mean, we
No,
did
it's
this
just as
because
far
you were
as
doing
like,
so well on Kaplan. So
no, yeah, it's
what
just
did we
because
say? So we said 1, 3, and 4. How in the world do we miss this? The investor purchased, well, they're telling us that 2 is not, 3 is not correct. 3.
when you long a call,
Maximum loss. Yeah, I think that's their on them, not us.
when you long a call, your max
Yeah, the maximum
loss
loss is
is
500. So I don't know how
500.
what they're talking about.
Let's see. Let's see the rationale.
Um, the break even and no worse, the maximum loss is loses the share price drops below the strike and remains up through the contracts will not exercise the most, yeah, 500. That's what we said. So I think that's on them. I don't think that's on us.
Go back up. Go back up.
Did we miss it?
Maybe an investor purchased one call for fine premium. Which of the following are true regarding this
We
investor?
said one, we said 1, 3, and 4. They're saying that we were wrong about 3.
I think the position aspect of it regarding this investor's position.
Yeah, I don't know. What you're saying that we think 3 is not true? I think it is,
No,
but
I think it's true. I don't know. I don't know. But
yeah,
yeah.
I just think it's a funky
Yeah.
thing. All right, let's see what our next one is. Which of the following is an example of a type of I thought we would miss that one because I did think they were talking about what would be in a money market fund. So again, I think that's wording. So I don't feel bad about that one. Right. Fed funds are money market instruments, high quality debt maturing less than 12 months. So let's see, how do we miss this one? We said, oh, that's
I
crazy. It
think it
says
says
we're
correct.
correct, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why they
Maybe
marked.
go to the incorrect. You see
Oh,
answers.
oh, there we go. Okay, I'm going through all of them. That's the problem. So what was that? That was number.
No, you see how it says answers. You just
Yeah, I
press
did. I got
the
it.
incorrect button.
Boom. Held and street. Yeah, we talked about that one. I told you got that one wrong.
Yeah.
9. Uh, yeah, nominal sum. We talked about that one. 10. We said 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and it's not 4. I
Yeah.
disagreed with this one when you missed it. I thought they would say bank reference, but again, I wouldn't worry about that one. Educational background. I thought we said that. How do we miss that one? Oh, we talked about that. You
Oh, yeah.
lying about your background is a more serious thing
Yeah.
than the analyst isn't working. We talked about this one. These were all bearish. We talked about you were bullish here, right? It was bearish. That says you're looking to buy calls and sell puts. That means you're bullish, and all these were bearish positions.
Yeah.
And bonds yield. Yeah, this one was kind of stupid. Supply and demand. I think it was a poor question. Interest rates, option class and series. This would be definitional. So again, I thought that was a dumb one. Bearer bonds, you should know bearer bonds. There is no certificate. So what type of trade confirmation principle
None of the
only
above.
fully registered? Yeah, none of the above, right? Bearer bonds, book entry. This question was about book entry.
Yeah.
Book entry, right? So D book entry would have been the D choice, but it's none of the above because they're not book entry. Let's see if they mentioned book entry. I don't
Yeah.
like the rationale because they didn't even tell us that it's book entry.
Yeah.
Um, the principal must accept. Yeah, the principal signs on that, not the rep. It's the principal that needs to sign the account form. So you, the rep, do not accept that. You
Wait,
said the
so
principal and
accept.
rep. Oh, so that's one. Yeah, that rationale doesn't match up with the question here, right? I think
Yeah.
that's on them. I don't think that's on us.
Jeez. It's crazy.
403, we talked about that. This is called regulation show. That's very testable. You said 2 only. I said, no, we don't have to actually have it, but we got to know we can make delivery on T+2.
Mhm.
So that one we did miss. 107, we talked about that one. That was a tough miss. I don't think that is going to be on the test. Well, yeah, I'm with you, my friend. That was pretty good. So, Momentrix, thank you so much for allowing us to give people a free look on your Kaplan content. If you go online, you can buy their whole book, and it comes with, let me just get out of this real quick. Boom, boom.
I think it might go through every single.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of
Press
here.
on like the logo, press on the Mometrics logo.
The Mometrics, boom. Oh, here we go. So Nico and I just did their practice test 3. They have 2 more, and we've commented on what we thought along the way. I think it's good value just looking for some more practice questions to do. And we talked about the funkiness of that. I'm probably going to put a key on the booking page because I had somebody the other day, Nico, who was upset that they booked a couple hours of tutoring and after the fact found out that we do practice shared screen practice finals. So if people want to do that, I'll probably just make it available as a
Yeah.
separate kind of a thing. All right. Well, remember, folks, inch by inch, your Series 7's a cinch. Yard by yard, your Series 7 is hard. And we'll be posting this in the playlist for replays. Nico, thanks so much for allowing yourself to be a guinea pig. Who knows, you might be as famous as Lauren. I don't know if you ever saw Lauren and I
Oh, yeah,
do
yeah.
a practice final, and she took 4 hours. We didn't take quite 4 hours.